So, just like yesterday, I had another like scene come to me, like pop in my head. And I wrote it out. So if anyone wants to act it out or animate it, you're more than welcome to. I just can't keep all these creations to myself. Like, they have to get out there, although they'll just sit in a pile and never see the light of day. And if you've watched the Jim Henson documentary by Ron Howard on Disney Plus, it's very, very good. Jim Henson, who created the Muppets, just had all these ideas he wanted to do, and he never got to do them. And something that I felt was prophetic from Jordan Peterson is he said, there's these professors that have these ideas and they keep them to themselves because they're worried about people stealing them. But if you give out these ideas, you'll get more ideas. And that clicked with me. Like, my discernment and my gifts, like, it was like a bell going gong, or a gong going gong. And I thought, you know what, that's me. I'm trying to do all these things and make all this wealth for myself and my friends and my company that I'm trying to build. But if I start giving away all these ideas, or at the very least putting people in charge of running them, like, maybe I don't have to write every single cartoon. I can hire cartoon creators, and then my company will put out more cartoons, and that's good. And that was really hard for me because I wanted to have my hands in everything. But I can be an overseer. Instead of having to write all the dialogue and design all the characters, I can hire people whose characters I like, whose dialogue I like, who I trust to get things done and have, well, manners and meanings. So Jim Henson, he died, and he had all these ideas that just never got to see the light of day. And I love Jim Henson. I love everything he did. I liked that his Muppets were quirky and snarky, and since then, some of the stuff has been good, like Muppet Treasure Island, but a lot of it's just too G-rated now. It's kind of like how C3PO and R2-D2 used to be really sarcastic. And now they're just kind of goofy, and I don't mind that when it's coming from George Lucas. He can kind of do what he wants, but at the same time, I kind of liked it the other way. And that's fine, by the way. Sometimes you're going to like change, and sometimes you're not going to like change, and that's how it is, especially if you're a creator. Everyone kind of likes to cook their own dessert. So anyways, here's a scene that kind of came to me from my imagination, and it's kind of a parable for how I work. For those of you who don't know, I was homeschooled until I was 14. So I was homeschooled through junior high, and then I went to high school. And homeschooling is kind of like a different world. It's almost like elves to dwarves or elves to humans. It's very different culturally. And so things would happen that would be embarrassing because I didn't always know the culture, and heartbreaking because other people didn't always know my culture. Like in high school, I wasn't sarcastic. I was loving and kind, and that worked really well sometimes and really confusing other times. But anyways, here's the scene. So this idea is, right now, my gifts haven't fully activated yet, but I expect in the next year or two, I will be a global name because if my gift of healing fully activates, I can heal missing limbs, heal blindness, heal the recently dead. So in this scene, I walk up to people and say, but I specifically say in this scene, or there's like a crowd of people, but I specifically talk to 3 young girls, and one of them, the first one, is real snarky, and the second one is wise but kind of curt. Failed upload. I'll do that again later. And the third one comes to good conclusions. Okay, so in the scene, I walk up and the first girl says, "Hey, why are you looking at me like I'm a piece of meat?" Because that'll happen. I walk up to people and my gifts allow me to kind of weigh their souls. And so Daisy, who you'll meet at some point, I was like, "Hey, Daisy, you really love people." And she's like, "Yeah, I do." I said, "Do you want me to give you a gift?" Because I can give people more than the 9 gifts of the Holy Spirit. I can give them gifts of like character. And she goes, "Well, what would you give me?" And I said, "I want to give you the gift of encouragement." She goes, "Okay." So I give her the gift of encouragement, and then I wait 5 minutes for it to seat. And then I come back and I go, "Hey, Daisy, tell me something encouraging." And I asked her this before I implanted the gift, and she said something like, "Oh, you're really nice and you're a kind person." And then I asked her again, and it was like she was hitting bells upon my heart. I was like, whoa, like it was such a powerful moment. It stopped me. It was truly wonderful. So the first girl says, "Why are you looking at me like I'm a piece of meat?" So she gets that I'm appraising her soul, but because she lives in the real world, she feels that it's something inappropriate. And girl number 2, the Snarky responds, "Why are you looking at her like you want to have sex with her?" And then girl number 3, who comes to good conclusions, "Wait, this is Joshua Charming. He only says fantastic things. Why don't we wait and see what he has to say? He may surprise us." And the first girl says, "Fine," and the second girl says, "Fine." And so then me, King Joshua Charming, says, "I've got a game to play. It's called soccer. But you're gonna get hurt. Balls might fly at your face and knock you out." And the second girl says, "That sounds naughty." And the first girl says, "That sounds pornographic." And the third girl says, "Wait, he's a homeschool kid, not some common pervert." Well, no, then she says, "Well, Mr. Charming?" And I correct her, "King Charming." The third girl says, "Well, King Charming, what do we win if we play?" Now that's a smart question. Instead of getting caught up in the diddly-do nonsense, like she asks the important question at hand, the real meat of the section. So I get real serious and I look them straight in the eyes with that special moment eye contact that only happens during really cool moments in movies where the music swells and makes you feel hope and love and happiness. I look into each of their eyes and say, "Souls. You play for me and I play with Jesus and we'll win souls. And it'll be the best game ever played. History will know you as legends. History will know you as warriors." And that was kind of the dream, and that's kind of what I'm doing is telling everyone we're playing a new type of game now. We're here to win souls. I told my friend the world is a million potholes that need to be fixed. Pothole is basically a bump, part of the road that's bad that kind of like divots a bit and it like ruins your tires. It can ruin your car. So yeah, so the world is just a lot of problems to solve and we can solve it. I think one of the biggest problems I had was I didn't understand economics. So I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. God, I need to understand economics. I know there's someone or a book or something, but you need it. We need it broken down so we can understand it as earthlings. And then God brought Thomas Sowell into my view. So that was really good. But yeah, I wanted to share that. So if anyone wants to make that scene or make that animation or whatever you want, it'd be cool. I love you guys. Don't forget to pray for the reality you want and just talk to God. Tell him I sent you if you're ever in trouble. It happened with a friend of mine. She said, "I don't really believe in God, but I believe in you." And I said, "Well, hey, if you're ever in trouble, just pray to Josh's God." She goes, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, if you're ever in trouble, just say, 'Dear Josh's God,' and tell him I sent you." And then she got in trouble and she did that. And she said, it worked out and it could have been awful. So I was like, okay. Yeah, she said she got in trouble and she normally has high anxiety, but that night she had no anxiety at all. I was like, there you go. Love you guys.